just waiting for the walls of my insides to come clean. I've been praying for the day that my spirit is finally free. Some days it feels like the ocean.
So, how's Warp been so far, guys?
Yeah, it's been unreal. Like, it's just a really good way to finish the year off for us. It's been the year of our life, and like, we just haven't stopped. And I feel like all the hard work that we put into this year is just paying off now with these shows and the crowd. And it's just a nice way to end the year.
Yeah, Warped over here has been really different to America. We feel, I don't know if it's just because of the scale, it's a little bit smaller, and there's only 27 bands on the tour, which means there's 3 stages. And I guess I just really like the intimacy of it, and because there aren't bands or buses or bandwagons involved, it just means everyone's spending more time together. It's been a really cool vibe.
So, speaking of the American Warp Tour, how crucial are those 2 sort of legs that you did of it with your band?
Huge for us.
I think they pretty much made our band what we are, because before we did the first Warped Tour, we were literally just an unknown band. We toured America twice, and that tour really kind of just, you know, we just grew so much as a band, and we met so many people, we made so many friends.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the opportunity to do it again this year, it was just on a whole other level.
Yeah. I think the case with a lot of bands is you can be a good band, you can write good songs and sound good on an album, but you have to be good live. And sometimes, well, not just sometimes, in every situation, the only way that you can become a good live band is to tour your ass off. And Warped Tour was just kind of a game changer for Tonight Alive.
Okay, so being over in Australia, it's pretty hard to gauge how big you guys are overseas. How big are your crowds? What are the fans like in the UK, Europe, and the States?
I think for the first time in our career, like, everywhere is sort of at the same level. I guess we're growing as a band, and we're able to now headline in other countries, which is ultimately the main goal for any band is, you know, to be able to do your own tours worldwide. And I mean, to whatever scale is fine and everything, but it's been awesome overseas. We've got really passionate fans, and the music outlets over there, like radio and magazines, are super supportive of our band. So
how many shows have you played in 2013?
Yeah, we actually counted it. By the time we finished Adelaide, it would have been 185 shows, which is a show every second day. That doesn't include like all the days off, all the travel days. Like, we recorded an album this year as well.
That's insane, actually.
It's been a freaking big year. So.
Speaking of the album, I was listening to it on the way up here, and it's hard to listen to a new album and then sort of go back to your older stuff and how far you've progressed. Do you go back and listen to your older stuff and just think, you know, what were we thinking then, or why didn't we sort of...
Yeah, it's mixed emotions looking back at the old stuff. Obviously, we love where we came from, and we've been there every step of the way, so we know where we were at for each recording process or writing process. I can really look back fondly on the EP days when we did All Shapes and Disguises. We were in high school, so we were just really trying to scrape everything together and make it happen, and we just were like wide-eyed kids, and I think the songs kind of show that, and I really enjoy listening to that. Whereas What Are You So Scared Of, I think, was like this in-between grey area. It was kind of like that weird pubescent area for a teenager, where it's like you don't know who you are yet, you don't know what you're trying to convey. And I think, to me, like, I can listen to the way I was singing and know that I was still trying to figure out what I was actually good at. So that's how I feel about our old stuff.
There's still some songs on Wayso that like we can't listen to anymore, like, but there's some that we still love. We still play them live, and I think we really nailed them, you know. But I guess that's what's cool about growing, is because you ditch the bad songs and you just keep playing the good ones, and you just add them to the set, new songs, and just kind of so every band goes through that. You guess hopefully you get better and better. So
to add to what Cam just said, there's a few songs on What Are You So Scared Of that we knew was the sort of direction we were going to keep continuing on in. And that started with Wasting Away on the first EP, Revenge and His Thrills on the second EP. Wayso was breaking and entering and listening What Are You So Scared Of. And that's the style of music that we're always trying to do, and yeah, I think that's what we achieved.
And is it hard being in a female-fronted pop punk band? Do you find it hard to sort of, you know...
In what way? Like,
I suppose to try and, even for yourself, not be pigeonholed to sort of, you know, other female-fronted pop punk bands, to sort of just try and make your own sound and make people not try and draw comparisons.
I think perhaps when we started off, it might have been hard, but I don't really think it ever, especially where we're at now, we've really worked hard to make our own identity, and I think people have a bit of respect for us now because we've worked really hard, and I don't you know, I think we put on a good show, and we are doing our own thing. We tour, you know. I don't think we've ever had any troubles being a female frontman.
I think also it's a choice if you really want to acknowledge that kind of like, it's kind of like when people say, do you experience sexism in the industry? And it's like, well, actually not really. Like, if you don't take shit, you're not going to get shit. And I kind of feel like Tonight Alive has always stuck by that. All we wanted, even I remember when we were playing youth centres the year we started, all I ever said was, I just want to be respected as musicians. And I feel like we're in a position where we don't have to acknowledge if there was to be any criticism. Like, I think we're on the right path.
Is it hard to have all this success overseas, big crowds and that, and then come back to Australia and sort of, you know, face friends that were in bands the same size as yours when you were growing up? And do you feel any, like, you know, are they ever resentful of, you know, your success? Or
It's a hard topic because, like, we were in a scene where we were the underdogs, and it was a very metal and hardcore dominated scene where we came from. So we grew up being like the pop punk kids that weren't cool, and like the music wasn't popular yet, and it was difficult. And you know, we like fast forward 6 years, and half those bands are all broken up, and they I don't know, maybe doing new bands, but half of them don't even play music anymore. And it's just kind of really, I don't even know how to explain what that feels like. I just feel like we've always been a band for the right reasons, and we were prepared to drop everything and run if we had to, and we put Tonight Alive first. And I don't know if that's where other bands went wrong, but it's just, it is a shame because the scene is very difficult in Australia regardless of whether you want it badly enough or not. Like, you're never going to get radio play unless you're an indie band, and you know, TV's hard to get. I mean, it's just, it is really difficult, and I mean, I think we made right choices and we worked our asses off, but I think that we got lucky as well, partly.
We don't know what they say behind our back, but every time we do see people like that, they generally seem to like have our back. You know, they seem really proud of us, and they're rooting for us. You know, because we are a band that's kept going through that whole scene, and we're kind of representing Australia. And I think, you know,
we're proud to be in that position.
Like that, yeah. If people say anything behind our back, then fuck them, it doesn't matter, like, because we're going to keep doing what we do. So.
And so, what's planned for 2014?
Got a few big tours booked, but we only just announced we're going back to the UK with All Time Low in March, which is going to be freaking awesome. It's just, I don't know, I think next year we're just going to really focus on playing more songs off the other side, you know, and really showcasing the variety in that album, and just trying to take our whole live show up another level, and you know.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit of a different year. This year we've spent a lot of time headlining. I think next year will be a little bit different. We'll try to do festivals and main supports sort of thing, and just get out to a new, you know, fan base.
Awesome. What were your favourite albums of the year?
Hands Like House has put out an album called Unimagine, and it's just really good. Like, it's great to have our best friends that we've toured with many times, and we both put out albums at similar times, and both toured Australia together, and hearing them play these songs and just listening to them before we got on stage, and you know, it really just makes you feel happy and proud, and all those kind of good feelings all at once, you know.
Yeah, the musicianship's incredible on that record, and beautiful production, and I don't know, you can't say enough good things about it, and it's awesome to be able to feel that way about it, Australian music, and also our best friends.
I'm going to think of like 5 more albums as soon as this interview's done that came out this year, but that was the first one that came to mind.
Is there anything out of sort of the you know, alternative scene, anything, you know, a bit more mainstream?
We've been listening to the 1975 heaps, actually.
Everyone's been saying that.
And that's definitely like a really good album too. Something different that we never really thought we'd listen to.
A band called Citizen as well put out an album called Youth, and we toured with them at the beginning of the year, and we also did Warped in America together, and they're a band I feel that are doing something that I have not heard in a long time, and it's quite grungy, but it's also aggressive, but then it's like heartbreaking. I think it's quite emotional, but the music's so different to what's happening right now. It's really refreshing, so I'd recommend Citizen.
Echo Smith as well.
Thanks for speaking with AMH TV today.
No problem.
You're welcome, mate. No worries.
Thank you.